like the waves, strong like the current. Many confuse me with the little mermaid. No, I am she, the black sheep you once called. I am she, the one who speaks out loud and strong, and ready to speak the truth and make a change, make an impact. We are the ones we have been waiting for.
Wow. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Passing up that drink and picking up my fist. Come on. High with power and stands and bass to my voice that echo with advocacy for my girls in the trenches, my women behind bars, my sisters hustling by any means with the fiends to survive. My sisters that have
We know that there are not places in this country, in the Bay Area, that invest in the leadership and the brilliance and the power of young women that have grown up on the streets, in lockup, and without support. And that's what the Young Women's Freedom Center is about.
There are very few organizations that take seriously the leadership, the power of young women, and are really actively working to build the power.
I see myself being independent, and I see myself being a leader. See myself, not making followers, but making other leaders. I would never want to put nobody down. I want to uplift everybody.
Because when they free themselves, they free each other. We reimagine community, we reimagine the world. That's how everybody gets free.
The Young Women's Freedom Center exists as a way for young women to come and develop the skills that it takes to shift the state of their community, the state of their lives, so that they can be powerful people in the world.
How many free people? I don't have any hands. Where's your hand? Where's your hand, Lily?
I came to the center at a pivotal point in my life. I was a young person that had grown up in the juvenile justice system. I was in group homes. I dropped out of 7th grade. I was, surviving on my own on the streets of San Francisco's Tenderloin. And it was the first place that I felt powerful. It was the first place where I realized that my voice matters, that actually the experiences that I brought with me as a young woman in the system was exactly what we need in order to change and transform the world.
The girls that come through the center is like me. I feel like they're the girls that tend to get left behind in things or get expected to not be well or do well.
I am a young mother.
I am beautiful.
I am revolutionary.
One of the things that drew me to the center and how I think it's differentiated from other organizations that work in social justice space is that a lot of people that work in this space, they look to change individuals and they look to make people, go to school or to change their personal characteristics. And I think what that does is say that the individual is the problem. And the center kind of flips that on the head and does something totally different and looks at structural oppression and looks at ways to do advocacy work, to do and to empower young women in their leadership.
I think it's really important as a leadership and advocacy organization to talk about what it means to invest in young women from the margins.
So when we talk about women at the margins, we're talking about system-involved women, we're talking about foster care, child welfare, school systems. We're talking about folks that are engaged and or impacted by those systems.
When a young woman from the streets walks through the door, it's time to see her as a partner in the work and not someone to serve.
We are cis and trans women.
We are young.
We are the revolution.
We are the future.
So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna facilitate today's meeting.
When somebody says that this makes me feel this way, I know exactly what they're talking about. Like I can feel on almost a spiritual level of what it feels like to be incarcerated in 4 walls and have the door shut on you.
So it's like if you haven't experienced it, how do you know to ask the right questions? And you can't even understand. And most of the time they're just giving these girls self-pity, like, oh, I feel sorry for you, but that's not what we want.
I came to the center 6 months after being released from prison. And I think that this work is crucial to me because the center is a space that allows us to lift up the voices of the women inside that are just unheard and really lost and forgotten.
Like we want people to actually hear us and actually change something about it.
And that's what I love about the center, like they give you that guide. I never knew I can get resources at age 18. I never knew I can do anything at the age of 18.
So I'm a single mom, and when I came to the center, I was a hot mess. I was just like miserable going through it. And just talking to my sisters on like their experiences like totally empowered me. And now I'm just like, yeah, I'm a single mom. So I feel like this place saved my life.
If young women are ever going to be able to get the solutions that are necessary to bring quality to their life, they have to be the ones that are creating the solutions.
We are a movement. We are building.
We are unstoppable.
The most powerful part of the work that I can say is sitting down with the DAs and attorneys and being in that other side than being locked up, and then, you know, having that power to speak for other women. It's really awesome.
We about to move history to her story. We have a membership base, and it's the Young Women's Freedom Coalition that we created statewide through California. What we're doing is policy work. What does it look like for us to create bills and take it up to the Capitol and keep knocking on their doors?
It's like, it's not just for ourselves. It's like, you know, it's for this world that we're living in, like what's going on, and like, yeah, we're trying to stop this stuff, yeah.
Tomorrow we're bringing in 150 formerly incarcerated and system-involved women and girls. 24 years doing this work and 3 generations into mass incarceration, under racialized capitalism and patriarchy. What does it mean to bring women and girls from the margins to the center?
Being part of the change, being a leader, being respected for who you are, is something that you just don't see very often.
If we don't tell our story, someone else will tell for us.
Us women, we are the ones that can really stand up and say what's really going on, because we're the ones that's really actually going through it right now. I fell in love with this center because it fulfilled my purpose, and that's to help women and girls to get it and to hold it and to always have it and pass it down from generation to generation.
Because if they don't have this, they're just gonna end up repeating the cycle and being, you know, in prison, and you know that story. So I feel like that's why this work is hella important, because we're breaking those cycles and starting new cycles of like resiliency.
Now is a moment to invest in the organization to grow its wings and really fly.
This work takes time and it takes investment. We have to reimagine what this world could look like for the freedom and liberation of everyone. The center is at the front lines of this work. We're investing in leadership, and the young women who are here are working to shift narrative. They're working on policies. They're working on legislation. We need your support so that these young women can lead the way for all of us.